So many of us live in between the balance of logic and intuition, and today we are going to talk about how to live in balance between the two. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Micah with Theflowertmple, and today we are going to be talking about how to live in harmony with logic and intuition. So I have always lived in a space of being deeply intuitive, but also analytical, right? And for a long time, it felt like a war inside of my head, like push and pull between the heart and the mind without letting them work together as a team, because essentially that's what they are. They're a team. And just like working as a team, you got to work together. So what I've learned from that is that they're not enemies, they're allies, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Okay, so let's start with logic. So logic is the voice of the mind, right? So the energy of Virgo, the archetype, and our discernment. So logic is a beautiful gift. It helps us create order from chaos, to see the details clearly, and to make grounded and practical decisions. It's a part of us that says, let's make a plan. Let's make sure this makes sense. I'm sweaty, just got done taking my son for a walk. So anyways, logic is the part that keeps things safe and structured. In my own life, logic has been a very supportive friend to me. It's helped me refine my work, organize my ideas, and make my visions real. Without logic, so many of my dreams and goals would be floating in the air, ungrounded. So I'm extremely grateful for logic and why it exists, because we need it. It's important. So as you might know, the shadow side of logic is overthinking. It's analysis paralysis. Say that 10 times fast. So analysis paralysis is when we get stuck in perfectionism, waiting for everything to line up before we allow ourselves to move forward. Today is not my best communication day just because I am so exhausted, but I am doing my best, and that is what matters the most. Anyways, I have had many moments where like I knew and my heart knew what it wanted, but the logic side of things, it's like overthinking, and then you can't see straight, you can't think straight kind of thing. It's like your logical mind says, wait, am I ready? Can I do this? What if it doesn't work? Stuff like that. Logic is sacred, but it's not the whole story. So let's go into talking about intuition. So intuition is the voice of the soul, the energy of Gemini, the part of us that is curious, playful, open, and connected to spirit. Our intuition speaks softly, and sometimes it comes as a gut feeling or a little whisper, a dream or a synchronicity that feels too magical to be a coincidence. Our intuition is our inner compass that says, this is right for me. Gotta watch this guy because he's crawling. He wants to just crawl up the walls, making sure he doesn't crawl off the bed. But so your intuition is your inner compass, right? It says this is right for me, even when you can't explain why, you can just feel it and trust that feeling. And I want to just say a lot of the most powerful decisions I have ever made in my life have been with using my intuition, but also aligning up logic and intuition. And I'm going to talk about how to bring both of them into balance so they're not at war with each other, because a lot of times before we bring them into balance, we do feel that inner conflict, that inner war between logic and intuition. So those choices that were birthed from using my intuition, they didn't make logical sense, but they opened the door to magic, healing, and alignment. And of course, intuition has its shadows too. So sometimes it can feel scattered, restless, hard to pin down, because we might chase 100 sparks, have 100 ideas, and it feels like a million things going through our mind, that it's clouded. And it's hard to bring something into form when we have a million things going through our mind. So we've got to anchor it and ground it so we can really listen. Which is why we need both intuition and logic. One gives us vision and one gives us structure. So what I've learned is intuition and logic, they're not enemies. They are two things that we need that dance perfectly together so they can fly, to help us fly. And that's the beauty of it. Oh my gosh. So this is how we can practice weaving both of them together into perfect harmony. So first, when you're making a decision, take a pause. Write down the logical response and reasons to your choice or your decision or your thought. And then write down what your heart and your body is telling you. And then after that, you're going to want to feel the emotion in your body. So if logically it sounds, good and right, but it gives you this sense of anxiety, listen to that. And that's not necessarily telling you it's the wrong choice, but that could be telling you that this is something new. And sometimes new things makes us anxious, because it could be something that's out of our comfort zone, and that's okay, and we just need to listen to that. So logic speaks in words and intuition speaks in sensations. So next we're going to assign logic to planning and organizing. Let your intuition lead, okay? And inspiration and direction. Instead of letting them fight, let them dance together. Yeah. And then lastly, you're gonna ask yourself, what's the story that logic is telling me? And then what's the story my intuition is whispering? And how can they work together? To the salad. Uh-oh, that's a mistake. This guy is learning to stand. So the dance between them is ongoing, right? It's not about choosing one side forever, but it's letting them move together. That's a mistake. Not a mistake, sorry. I'm singing the song that's on the computer. It's not a mistake letting them dance. So I want you to remember that logic gives us roots and intuition gives us wings when they work together. We are grounded and furry. This guy's pulling my hair. So we are both practical and magical, human and divine, and that is amazing. So I want you to comment down below what you are currently what your logical mind is thinking and your intuition is telling you, and that can also help you kind of put things into perspective. So like, share, subscribe, share this with somebody who needs it. It's always good to expand your mind and learn new things, and if you finished this video all the way, you learned something new today. Nom nom nom, delicious hair. Thanks for watching. Say thank you. Say thank you for watching. He's telling me a secret. He said thank you. Have a great day.